Hey there, PokeMoshPit. Pinocchio's TheAcousticKind here, bringing another Pokemon narrated Wi-Fi battle. This is going to be a 4th generation NU tier match versus TonyFlygon, an amazing battler. Yeah, it was really awesome. I particularly liked this game, so I thought I'd upload it here. Very, very intensive, lots of switching. Also have a little question for you. What's your favorite evolution? Mine is Umbreon. Just wanted to ask something, get a little interactivity between the two of us. Hope you don't mind. And yeah, leading with my Beedrill, it's actually Scarfed, but I don't know if his Magmortar is Scarfed. He did lead with it, which is an interesting lead option. Maybe he would have gone for the sub or something, in which case I don't think U-turn would break anyway, so decided to just go to my ZZ Master. Gonna go for the Protect first, just to get that lefty's recovery, knowing that he probably will stay in, especially since he's Life Orb, so his damage output is much greater than that of a Scarf variant, which is what I was afraid of with Beedrill. So I do just go for the Wish Protect combo, don't want to over-predict. The switch on the Protect was a little obvious, but I don't really mind him getting that switch initiative if it guarantees my Hypno at high health. So he brings in Tropius, and I know that I do have higher base speed, so unless he's a speedy variant, I can get the Toxic on him, which will be very valuable, especially if he's a Subseeder, which a lot of the 4th generation sets are, considering that he doesn't have the new 5th generation ability Harvest yet. So that's my game plan, and it is going to work out very nicely. So he goes for the Leech Seed here, and I don't really mind that too much, but now that he has the Leech Seed on me, I'm going to predict him to go for whatever his other move is, either Roost or Energy Ball or Leaf Blade or whatever he opts to carry, and just go into my Entei, because it would be able to set up on him. But unfortunately for me, he did just go for the Leech Seed, predicting my switch, which was a great play. Tony and I play a lot. We know each other's play styles pretty well. So I don't think he has anything to touch me, because I'm pretty sure he has the Grass move and Roost as his final 2 move slots, in addition to Sub and Leech Seed. So I do just predict that switch, go to my Beedrill, and go for the U-turn. Now, Magmortar does have the Flame Body, which could have gotten the burn on my Beedrill, but I do have a Cleric on this team, so I wasn't too worried about that. I really wanted to be able to get that extra damage in, especially since I don't have a solid Magmortar counter. So I go for the Toxic here, not sure what he wants to bring in. I haven't seen anything that can take it except for the Tropius, which I'm not worried about him sending in because it's a free switch into my Entei, especially since he didn't have Stealth Rocks up. But he went to Probopass to take the Toxic and set up Rocks, so I went to Sandslash to set up Rocks of my own. Sorry, this battle is a little bit sped up because I do definitely want you guys to be able to see this very intensive, kind of more lengthy match in a reasonable time frame. So he brought in the Weasel, knowing that I couldn't do Jack Diddley Balls with my Sandslash. Well, actually I could, but I went for a utility move, which is pretty obvious in the Stealth Rocks. So went to Meganium, and now I went to Beedrill here. Pretty sure that as long as he didn't go for Waterfall again, which I didn't think he would, considering that I resisted it with Meganium, it'd be a free ability to get more switch initiative and get damage on this Weasel if he didn't carry the Aqua Jet. But an Ice Punch Life Orb actually managed to OHKO my Beedrill, which was totally a waste. He and I were both actually very, very surprised at that damage output. I guess Weasel, or Floatzel, I've been calling it Weasel this whole time. Floatzel is a monster. So he's going to go into his Ampharos here. Not really sure what his game plan is, but I do know that Entei is notorious. My Calm Mind Entei is notorious for being able to set up on Ampharoses. So this part is particularly sped up just to save you guys the stall war. I went for a sub first, I think, trying to avoid whatever. Going to go for Calm Minds, and I'm very lucky that he doesn't get any sort of Parahacks right there, because if he had gotten the Parahacks, that could have been very detrimental, because having that 100 base speed is something that this team definitely looks for in Entei, because the only other poke I have to really deal with speedy threats is Sharpedo, and that's of course accounting for the fact that my Scarf Beedrill has already been taken out due to a bad play on my part. So I go for the Fire Blast here. I could have tried to go for the Fire Blast at, I think, +3 behind the sub, hoping it would kill, but Ampharos is known for being especially defensive, so I decided, okay, I won't have a sub up, but at least I'll get rid of this Ampharos for sure, and not have to risk him getting Parahacks and then taking me out with another Discharge or whatever the case may be. So yeah, I went to Land Before Time on his Floatzel, which he brought in on my Entei, because he could obviously outspeed, considering that Floatzel has 115 base speed as opposed to 100, which Entei sports. So he brought in Probopass here on my Meganium. Not really sure what he wants to do, considering the fact that I am very bulky, and I don't think that he really has much of a threatening move to my Meganium. So I opt to stay in, go for the Aromatherapy, see what his game plan is, and it's just going to be to acquire a free switch into his Magmortar. which was pretty good on his part because he knew that I would probably either switch or go for the supportive move, and he didn't have many opportunities to bring that Magmortar back in safely. So considering that all I've seen from him left that's still alive, other than this Magmortar, is like Floatzel, Tropius, and Probopass, none of which I need Hypno for, I do decide to just let that trade go down and let me stall out his Life Orb with Hypno. So I know that he hasn't seen a Psychic resist after Hypno being dead, so I'm just going to predict the Psychic, get the immunity, and go to Rocket Man, which is great because getting free switches into offensive pokes like Rocket Man is great. I know that he's going to go to Tropius because it's a Grass type, and Grass types are good Sharpedo counters if I don't carry the Ice move. And I'm pretty sure he knows my set, which I don't carry an Ice move. So I went to Koopa Troop knowing that I could outspeed and just get a knock-off before he got a sub-up, which would have been awesome. And he's just going to try to seed me here. I'm not really worried about that. I'm pretty sure that he's going to try to pass the seed off to something else. But either way, Entei is pretty much my best option because he can't really touch it, as I've already seen. So if he does decide to get greedy and stay in, it'll be pretty much a free sub for me after the lefties gain, which is going to be how it works out thanks to me getting the rapid spin off with Sand Slash to give my Entei the survivability to set up once more. So he goes to Probopass, and I'm just going to go for the Fire Blast. There are some arguably better plays I could have made at this stage, to be honest. But I really, really want to keep my Entei around until Tropius is gone, considering that it's the only thing I can reliably deal with it. I have that can reliably deal with it. I mean, Sharpedo still packs a big wallop, so there is always that option, but I just want to be careful and play around it. So I knocked down a little bit of health. I know that Probopass doesn't have reliable recovery. I figure, what the heck, I'll go to land before time. I can always go for the Leech Seed. Plus, I have Rocks up and he doesn't, so I'm not really worried. But I do know that he's probably going to go to Espeon or some sort of offensive threat. Perhaps Weasel, but I wasn't really thinking he would do that considering the Energy Ball was too big of a risk. But I actually carry Seed Bomb over Energy Ball, which is physical, over special, which deals with a Espeon so much better. So he went for Trick, which actually gives my Meganium a Choice Scarf, which at this stage of the game is surprisingly not that bad. Considering that he isn't using any sort of status, I don't really need the Aromatherapy. I mean, he went for the T-Wave with Probopass, but that was only the one time. Other than that, his team doesn't seem to be status E. So I went to Entei, and I went for the sub while he went for a Leech Seed. He actually thought that I had less than 1/4 of my HP, so it was a good play. Well, at least it was an understandable play. Now, I kind of also have to make note of the fact that Elite Blade can't break my sub, and he knew that, so he kind of had to go with hoping that I wouldn't have enough to make a sub, because Tony is a very excellent caliber of player. So yeah, I did manage to take out the Tropius, which means I'm not even going to worry about Entei anymore. I'm going to try my best with it, but I took out the big check that I really needed it for. So if he ends up dying, I still know that I should be able to take this match home. I do just go for a Calm Mind rather than going for 2 Fire Blasts, because I know that 2 Fire Blasts without the Calm Mind won't kill. So my only hope is to go for the Calm Mind and hope I can live in Earth Power, and I do at 1 HP, which was really epic. A 1 HP survive after that Calm Mind. Not sure if that was min or max damage, maybe somewhere in the middle. And then I'm going to take him out with a Fire Blast, which I think was max damage. So a little bit of min-max variations probably in my favor there, which is awesome. So I'm just going to let him take out my Entei with Floatzel, not really a big deal. I can get a little bit of Life Orb stall on him, yada yada yada, and bring in my Scarf Meganium, which is just hilarious. But even with the Choice Scarf, he is going to be able to outspeed to the 115 base speed. But I do have the Seed Bomb, as already previously covered. Any sort of Grass-type move would have been able to finish the job, pretty much. So that's going to be a good game, Tony. Yeah, that was a bit of a long match. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'm sorry if the narration was a little bit quick, but like I said, long battle. Don't want to make you guys sit here forever. Mine and Tony's links are below. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. Like if you enjoy, and I'll catch you later.